this video for you guys. I've been busy, so I'm going to share with you the safest country in the world. As far as I'm concerned, this country is the safest in the world. I mean, this country is so safe. I can tell people my story. I can tell women in this country. I can tell women in the lifestyle my personal favorite story of all time. And I have a lot of stories. I can tell women in the lifestyle my personal favorite story of all time about the first time I saw $1 million cash. I can tell them that story with no fear of reprisals, no fear of being kidnapped, none of that. I can let my hair down. I can relax. I mean, the best story I have, and I'm going to tell you about it in a minute, is giving these girls money because they were hungry to go to the KFC down the street and making a bet if they were going to come back or not. I'll tell you guys the whole story. I spoiled it. Spoiler alert. I'm such a nerd. I was supposed to tell you the spoiler alert before, but whatever. But yeah, I'll tell you guys the whole story though. But anyway, if I run out of things to talk about this country, I'll share the whole story with you guys. But yeah, that's how safe this country is. That is not going to happen in Brazil. That is not going to happen in Colombia. And that's, otherwise, like, that's how safe this country is. And I remember the first time I came to this country, I was a little bit scared. But once I got to the first city, which is when you come to the first city, and then you got to go an hour or two to the next city. Once you get there, you realize, like, this place don't play. This place is safe. And as I stayed there every day, I realized that part of being in this place is they like to party. And part of partying is spending a lot of money and drinking. Like, they drink. I mean, they drink. Drinks are expensive, and I would recommend if you like to get trashy drunk, get you a bottle beforehand and then pregame on that bottle. And man, I wish I was so much more cooler sometimes. Get you a bottle beforehand and pregame on that bottle, and then you can go and to the beer bars and whatnot. I don't know if you're gonna be able to do your thing, but you can go and see what happens. I know for me, if I drink too much, no fun is happening. No fun. But anyway, yeah, it's about spending money in this country, and you can't do that if you got to worry about being roofied and scopamine and all these other things and being robbed, just straight up being robbed, right? And you never hear about, in this country, you never hear about getting hit like that. You never hear about getting roofied or scopamine. Maybe in the main city, things might happen because it's kind of freaky up there. But I don't think it's like to rob you. It's more like to get you loose, party, get you relaxed, In the other city, none of that's happening. In the party centers of this country, there's 2 other party centers. One I'm excited to be going to visit. None of that is happening. And I love this country. There's one city in this country that I love, that I've always wanted to go to, that was like on my hit list. And I was just going to go between that country and Rio. I was just going to go between that city and Rio. That was going to be the rest of my life. I was going to go to Rio and spend 6 months there and go to this city. And then, I don't know, spend as long as I could and then come back and go somewhere else. But in between that, I had my cities that I was just going to be in for the rest of my life. And anyway, without further ado, maybe you picked it up by the colors if you haven't caught on now. The country is Thailand. Yes, Thailand is the safest country in the world. And when you first come to Thailand, you're going to hit Bangkok. And Bangkok is going to seem intimidating, but it is nothing like landing in Colombia. It's nothing like landing in Brazil. Well, not really, because Rio's a little bit... They ain't really hawking at you at the airport like that. But it's nothing like that. when you get to Bangkok and you arrive. It's very organized and orderly and pleasant. And everyone is cool. They're not in your face. They are very hospitable. They're very I can't think of the word, but they're just chill, you know? You get your little ticket and you get in your taxi and you say which way you're going. Now, mind you, you can go left and go up the street to Chiang Mai, which is my favorite city in the whole world. Oh my God, I love it. I cry right now just thinking about Chiang Mai. I cry because it's my favorite city in the whole world. You can hear it in my voice. I love this place. Or you can make a right and go down to Pattaya, or Patty as I like to call it, which is typical. It's okay. It's not really a big deal after like the first 3 or 4 days. It's kind of boring. You really want to sleep all day and go out only at night. That's the city for you. Although it's kind of boring, you know. It's hard to. I found that for me, it's hard to. If you are not cool with loneliness, isolationist, being isolated, or if you don't adapt well and you get homesick like I do, Patty can be very lonely place, very isolating, you know. It's not a whole lot to do during the daytime. So anyway, and I still got to go to Phuket, which I heard is amazing as well, and there's some other places I want to go check out in Thailand that are amazing. But this country overall, all the cities that I've been in are the most safest in the world. I'll give you an example. I remember, the first time I went to Thailand, because I've been to Thailand twice in the same year. Long story. But the first time I went to Thailand, I went to Bangkok. And I was intimidated as fuck because Bangkok is a huge city. Bangkok is a crazy city. And you got to be careful in Bangkok because they party hard. Nothing's going to happen to you. They just party hard in Bangkok. And so I remember getting to Patty after that long day of flying and then 2-hour drive to Patty. Because I'll never catch that bus. Don't catch that bus. Please don't catch that bus. That bus, it drops you in Jonton Beach, which is not far, but it's far from maybe where you'll be staying. So anyway, I get to Patty. I get to my favorite hotel, the Ibis, which is where I like to stay. And I say, I go check in my room. And for me, safety starts at the Ibis Hotel. Because I know the quality, I know what to expect, I know everything. So if I'm not familiar with the country and I don't have really any feedback or input, I stay at an Ibis Hotel. And then I go from there and book something private, Airbnb, whatever the case may be, once I learn where everything's at, where I want to be, So my tip to you is to always book an Ibis Hotel. Great hotels, affordable, always accommodating to the lifestyle in any country you're in, and then you can see what's going on and you can book an Airbnb or another hotel or whatever your fancy is. But don't rely solely on Airbnb if it's your first time going to the country, because you may wind up somewhere that's not convenient to where you want to go hang out, and it just might be disappointing to you. Definitely won't be what you expected. And trust me, after a long day of flying, the last thing you want to deal with is a hard bed and a cold shower and no food. And the Ibis has soft beds, hot showers, and food. So everywhere I've been, they have that. And I know. So that's why I go there. So I get there, and I remember thinking to myself, this is my first night. I said, let me go. I'm going to go out. So I walk back out. I walk to the front. I tell them, take me to Walking Street. And they took me to Walking Street. I hopped in the first thing smoking. They took me to Walking Street. And I got off and started walking around Walking Street. And, man, let me tell you, it was like being in Disneyland all over again when I was a kid. But now I'm an adult. And it was an amazing experience. And everywhere was welcome. And everywhere was like, come on in, come on in, come on in. And I liked that. Everywhere made me feel like I would be welcomed. Like I would be treated with decency and respect, kindness, all those things. I never felt timid about going into somewhere, And yeah, the first impression was a 10. Now here goes my safety story. Why I know it's a safe country. Because I know you want to know that. Why do I know it's a safe country? Why do you want to know it's a safe country? Well, in addition to the way that they move with the lifestyles, because you know the lifestyles, they come back to your crib. If you're not in the Airbnb, the lifestyles come back to your crib if you're in a hotel or whatever, and they got to take your ID. They take their ID, and that's always what you want to have happen. You never want to have it where the lifestyles can just roll up in your spot without having to produce any credentials. You never want to be like that, because that is what really protects you. But you don't really need it in this country. It's more really, but it's good because it protects you from some other stuff that goes on that we don't condone. I don't condone, but it's good that they protect you. It's really to protect you in the redundancy. But nobody's going to steal anything from you. That's what I'm saying. So nobody's going to steal, harm you, or take advantage of you in any way. So I remember I was a little bit drunker than I should be this one night. So one particular night, I was a little bit drunker than I should be, and I was out by myself. And getting the tuk-tuks, man, they try to rob you. Like as any livery service would do, any livery taxi would do. Late at night, you got money, you spend all this money in the bar, $200, $300, $400. You can't pay them $20 to get you home on a ride that normally costs 50 cents, right? So they're gonna get you. So I remember hopping in the back of one, and I don't know, I got confused with the address, or maybe they didn't understand what I was saying, and so we were driving, and I got lost. I was not at home. I got lost. But he stopped. I got lost. I was not at home. The streets were deserted. There was nobody out. It was just empty. Just me and the tuk-tuk driver. And I remember saying, you know what? I don't know where I'm at, but don't worry about it. I paid him. I said, don't worry about it. I'm just going to walk from here. I'll be all right. That's how safe I felt. I felt so safe that I got lost. I knew I was somewhere around there, but I just wanted to walk anyway. I knew I was somewhere around there, but I got lost in the middle of wherever I was at and felt comfortable hopping up the tuk-tuk and walking at night by myself. Okay? I would never do that in Colombia. But I gotta say, Cartagena was an exception. There's a neighborhood area that you are relatively secure. But I would never do that in Cartagena. I would never do that. I mean, I would do that in Cartagena. That's the exception. But I would never do that in Medellin. I would never do that in Bogota. I would never do that in Rio. I would never do that in Tijuca, Barra de Tijuca, or Copacabana, or Leblon, or Ipanema. I would never do that. But Thailand was different. I was able to do that. And that's how I know. And it happened a lot of times. I would be walking late at night by myself. They always take you to the wrong spot because some of these hotels got like 3 different versions of their name. And if you don't have the right one, and there's one good hotel I like to stay at that I will be staying at when I go back to Patty, because it is a good deal. I think about it. It is a good deal. For $800 a month, it is a good deal, and it's a nice hotel. And it's close to everything. It's not close, but it's not too far, and it's easy to get home late at night, And they have breakfast. They have a great breakfast, and it's close to all the restaurants and everything anyway. So anyway, yeah. So I'll put it in my list for you guys. I'm gonna do next where to stay in Thailand, and I'll add it to my list. It'll actually be a hotel, but it's actually a hotel. I'll add it to my list for you guys. So anyway, yeah. So I remember this happened so much, and I would just be cool hopping out and walking around. Even during the daytime, I like to explore. I like to walk around and see what's going on, Just always felt safe in Thailand. Had many different friends from the lifestyles come and hang out with me and spend the night. And I mean, I sleep with a CPAP machine. So when I sleep, I'm knocked out, Never had no problems with them. Never. It wasn't like in that time in Rio when I fell asleep. my God, I should have told you guys that story. That time in Rio, I fell asleep with the Lifestyles. She was bad drunk too. And I remember like I wasn't planning on falling asleep, but we kind of were like taking a nap, or she was taking a nap, and I was like gonna just sit up and watch her, but I dozed off. And then I woke up and it felt like I was asleep for a long time. And I looked and I didn't see her. And I was like, oh shit, my laptop, my shit, all my shit. And I got up and rushed to the living room and all my stuff was there. And she was in the bathroom or something. But weird, I don't know what was going on. But that's what I mean. Like in Thailand, you don't have that problem. Because you know, like, they don't play like that. You go to sleep, they go to sleep, you're both knocked out, you're knocked, and that's it. You're safe, you know? Nobody gets played like that in Thailand. Now, how you do get played in Thailand is obvious, right? You get played by the sending them money when you're not able to be there. And I'm going to do a capstone video about that. You get played by the sending them money and you're not there. You get played like that. But I don't want to say you should get played like that, but if you are impulsive about it, if you don't have discretion, like you shouldn't try to take care of someone you just met. You shouldn't try to take care of anyone at all. You damn sure shouldn't take care of someone you hardly know, and you damn sure shouldn't take care of someone if you're not going to be in the country. Those things all come into play. If you can't stay in the country, don't take care of the person. Okay, because they're going to do it unless you're going to accept that they're going to be doing a lot of bullshit, with or without an agreement, with or without some type of arrangement. It doesn't matter, because you got to remember that you're not the only guy who's going to be taking care of her. She has another guy, and they have an agreement, and you have your agreement, but your agreement as the second guy to take care of her does not supersede his agreement. You know what I'm saying? So whatever his agreement is, yeah, she found a way to get you involved, and then a third guy and a fourth guy. So just know that that's what's happening. And you can either accept it, you can either be in denial, or you can get played. So, you know, those are your options. That's it. It's real simple. Those are your options, okay? The other thing you can do is don't try to take care of anyone if you're not in the country, because the probability is that those other guys that are taking care of her, guess what? They're not in the country. They're not in the country. None of these guys are. Most of these guys are not in the country. There's two types of men in Thailand. Those who live there, and they keep, from what I can tell, they are very frugal. And those who want to show off and act like they big shot daddy Warbucks because they get the money like that in their country. And, you know, they say, I'm going to send you money and not be here. Listen, man, if you do that in Thailand, that's how you get played. Okay? If you stay, it's a different story. Because guess what? If you stay, she's up under you as much as you want. And those other guys don't matter, because guess what? They're not there. You know? Now, they're getting played. And again, like I said, you shouldn't do any of that for somebody that you don't know. And what do I mean by not knowing someone? I mean, you have to know someone over a year. My number's a year. I got to know someone for at least a year. They got to reciprocate my communication and my attention and my friendship for a year before I even think about doing anything else with them, as far as sending them money. And I don't really even send them money like that, because if I send money, I'm usually right behind them. I usually may send them money to set something up for us, a trip, whatever, and I'm right behind. You know, I'm not far away. Some of these dudes are just not coming back no time soon. Definitely not in the same year. Definitely not within 6 months, for many reasons, right? So that's the only thing about this country that is how you get played, and we know this. So I don't know how people try to change the narrative. But otherwise, man, yeah, this is the safest country in the world to me. I mean, you can wear your rollies and you can do your thing and you can show out and you can pop bottles and do all of that. They love all of that smoke. They love all of that. I showing off is a peacocking, buying bottles, drinking a lot. That's the routine here. If you're not drinking a lot, if you're not letting your head down, if you're not letting yourself go, it's a problem. You know, matter of fact, I think the next time I go to Patty, well, definitely when I go to Phuket, but I think the next time when I go to Patty, I'm going to get myself I'm gonna make a visit to the porcelain church. What is it? What did we just say? I'm gonna pray to the porcelain God again. I haven't prayed in a minute. I'm gonna get myself trashed. I'm gonna get myself thoroughly trashed. I'm gonna buy a bottle and demolish it. Might buy 2 bottles and demolish it. You know. So anyway, that's my video. The safest country in the world is Thailand. Among all the countries I've been to, Thailand is the safest. And I've been to quite a few countries at this point. But I like Thailand. I really like it for the safety. And I love Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai just brings tears to my eyes. Oh my God, this place is so amazing. It's awesome. It's so spiritually, you got to recuperate. You got to have a healing period, right? You got to have a cooling down period. You're out here running, catching up, making up for lost time, whatever your thing is. But you got to relax, too. You got to relax. You got to be therapeutic. You just got to drown out everything. And that's what you can do up here. I don't even want to tell anyone because I don't want y'all coming up here. I want y'all to stay where the ruckus is at and burn yourselves out. Fry your fucking brain and your balls. But I'm going to be intermittent and have my fun. I'm actually going to start refining myself because I've been doing too much and it takes me a while to recuperate. I'm kind of feeling the effects a little bit of exhaustion, but I'm finally recuperating now, because, it's tiring. It's like I said, one thing about Thailand, when you don't have to always concentrate on your safety, your body can heal psychologically and physically. You can start to develop better. And like I'm saying, man, this city, God, if you can get over, like me, I have chronic shyness, believe it or not. Some people who know me too well would say, you're not shy, Wilfred, but I have chronic shyness. Trust me, I do. I really do. It's been a lifelong challenge of me, especially as an adult. Definitely as a child, but but I can tell you this much though: all the things going on about Thailand, what it is, what it isn't. I'll be honest with you. If you can get over your shyness, man, you will catch you one, and you will have an amazing night. You will have the best time of your life with her, because one thing I can say is that it's like the women in this country have a great attitude. They have a great attitude. I would give them that. There's some things that I don't like, but who is perfect, There's some things that I don't like, but I can tell you this much. They have a great attitude, and they won't waste your fucking time. If they don't want nothing to do with you, they will let you know. And that's all you can ask for from anyone. You can never, I say all the time, I tell people all the time, look, you can never be mad at a woman who tells you she doesn't want anything to do with you, who says she doesn't fuck with you, or whatever it is they do. Like, you can never be mad at no one like that. They don't want no drink from you. They don't want to pretend. You can never be angry with a woman like that. You know what I'm saying? So, if you are well developed and you're an adjusted male, you understand why that's important. And if you're not, I feel sorry for you. I don't know what to tell you. Stay angry about things you can't control. Because I learned a long time ago, all I could control is my